What's up, locals? Well, this morning we are joined by our friend George from Lifesport. Thanks so much for joining us today, George.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Really appreciate it. So today we are talking about, well, why don't you tell us what we're talking about today?
Okay, where to begin? Hi, I met Ryan over at Lifesport, and Ryan convinced me that at some point in time I should come and do a video, just because I passionately believe that the majority of disc golf players that are new to the game, or the majority of players that, dare I say it, are mature, such as myself, cannot use a 160 gram or heavier disc. I know that sounds like heresy, but that said, if force is mass times acceleration and you don't have a lot of force, then maybe you should decrease the mass to increase the acceleration. What I should say is I'm from Lifesport. Lifesport is just across the river from Baker Park. We're give or take 6 blocks. Lifesport's been around since 1987. My story, I'm a cross-country ski coach by trade. That said, about 5 years ago, I joined the Lifesport team. Now I work as the sales manager. And Lifesport in summer, we do mostly bike service, some bike sales, and a whole lot of disc golf. And in winter, we're a cross-country ski shop. Round about April-ish, we turn over the whole store so that the sales side becomes 3 walls, about 6,000 units of discs. When people come in, their first comment is, I see a lot of color. It's kind of like Smarties on the wall. You're right, yes.
This course is the most played course in the country, in Canada. And well, that's to do with a number of things. We've got some amazing leagues that happen here, which definitely help to boost those numbers, I think. But, you know, it's support from shops like Lifesport. And when I went in the day that George was talking about and we chatted a little bit about discs, I could tell instantly that, you know, his awareness of this local community and the number of people that are exploring the sport either for the first time, the first season, maybe the second season, and you know their goal is to achieve, you know, a successful experience with those new players. And I think it's a huge reason why this course is the busiest in the country, because Lifesport is catering to that. Not only do they have rental packs there that you can take out, but there's also a real great awareness of weight and, you know, just trying to get new players just a really fun experience out on the course. So they are ambassadors of the sport, which is why this video was really important to me.
We basically figure that give or take, you know, 80% of the clientele that walk through our doors are looking for a feather-light disc that's 159 grams or below. Okay, so force is mass times acceleration. I have a 13 speed. There we go. It's a 5 glide minus 5 turn. That's not going to help me, by the way. And it's a 1 fade, and it's also 175 gram. This is the Daredevil Sasquatch. We absolutely love Daredevil. They're from Ottawa, Ontario.
Yes. Beautiful
Canadian-made discs. They're great. We have them in the store at all times. This baby, how shall we say this? This flies like a rock. This one here is the Defy. This is a Innova Wraith wannabe. I believe the Innova Wraith was made before the Defy. And this is an 11.5 minus 1.3. This is a 157 gram. And then here we go. We'll start moving into our Lifesport branded here. This is the Pterodactys. This is an Avenger SS in 131 grams. So it's a 10.6 minus 3.1. Moving right along to the infamous unicorn, which of course every person such as myself needs a lucky unicorn, really. And a lucky horseshoe.
My daughter throws one too.
Oh, she does? Excellent.
Yep.
So this is a 116. It's an Innova Sidewinder 9.5 minus 3.1. And then we'll move along to my go-to. This is the Baby Wraith. This one here is 124 grams. Same numbers as the Defy, 11.5 minus 3.1. And then finally, I have this one here, which is a Lifesport Blue Jay. It's the same numbers as a Innova Valkyrie, 9.4 minus 2.2. Okay, so I should talk about grip. Usually when people walk in the door, the first thing I say is throw the disc and catch it with your finger extended. That is your accuracy grip. Where your finger points, the disc will follow. That said, it is a back-loaded grip, and there's resistance coming out of your hand. So on the continuum of things, accuracy here, distance over here, you need a front-loaded grip. Something like this. You'll notice my fingers hanging on the rim, like that. My thumb pinching, and you'll notice all of a sudden I can accelerate out of my hand. That would be considered the distance grip. And I'm just going to briefly talk about the putting grip, like this and like that. So if I'm doing this, my accuracy grip with my fingers folded under here, and I go like this, I'm now spinning the disc out of the hand, and I have control. Those are 3 simple grips you can use. So at some point in time, you're going to get some windy conditions. Featherlight discs, well, let's be blunt, the wind just loves them. It'll take them for a tailwind, spin, it's great. Into a headwind, no, they tend to get knocked down. Seldom do I ever get a calm day, and seldom do I ever not get to play against wind. So up there, I tend to be very, very careful about my disc selection. On a tailwind, I'm usually throwing the Featherlights. When it comes to throwing into the wind, I actually use a more overstable Star Wraith. It's about 130 grams. I also use an Eagle, which is an Innova Infuse, which is their more overstable plastic, and that's also a very light one. That's a 147 for me. I'd consider that a heavyweight. My go-to 7-speed of late has been the Katrina Allen Vortex, which I just love. This is the production run. I have the original prototype here in a 167, and this one here, which is my go-to, is a 154. When it comes to beefcake, yeah, everybody needs beefcake. Just like Simon Lizotte, I really like the Entropy, and this one is a 171. And again, I use this to putt into the wind on those exposed windy greens, which you get those a lot at David Richardson. And then the final disc I have, also from DGA, is the Tremor. It's another 170 gram disc, and it's a 6.5 minus 4.1. Thank you.
I love this conversation today because when you go to sort of any online store or any in-store experience, most of what you're looking at is, 165 to 175. There isn't a large stock of lighter weight stuff, and I think that can get discouraging for those with that don't throw quite as far, don't maybe have as big of an arm, maybe you had shoulder surgery in the past or elbow issues, and you love the sport, but you also want to have some fun doing it. And I love hearing George here talking about his 130 gram Wraith and saying that, this is a heavier disc for him. And that's a great disc for the wind for him, because it's not a conversation that we're hearing a lot. And I think it's important to find, I just did a video the other day talking about finding the right disc to match your arm speed. And this is exactly, this just aligns perfectly with this. You don't have to throw a 175 gram distance driver, to enjoy this sport. It might be 120 gram Baby Wraith, is that what it was?
124 Baby Wraith, 109 gram Valkyrie, pseudo Valkyrie, we call it the Blue Jay.
So I just threw that 124 and got a great flight out of it. It's not a disc that I typically have been throwing lately, but it was a lot of fun to throw. I mean, on a calm day, obviously, but that disc is fading a lot faster in a heavier weight. In that 124, it just carried today, and it was a lot of fun to throw that lightweight disc. And because of, I don't know, maybe disc golf culture or something, I wouldn't even look at that disc normally. So anyway, I really appreciate the conversation today, because I think it is getting us to push the boundaries and have a conversation about what's possible in terms of, what you're looking for to have a successful experience. Anyway, this is great. Thank you so much, George, for joining us today. We're going to throw a few more discs, have a bit of fun. And as always,
this is local.
We are local.